Imagine you are standing in front of your fridge right now. You pull out a cold glass of milk, you drink it without thinking. You have done this thousands of times in your life. It feels completely normal. But now imagine a different glass. Same color, same temperature, same creamy white surface. Except this one came from a lion. Most people assume the answer to that is simple. It would taste different, sure. Maybe richer, maybe stronger. But drinkable? Probably fine, right? That is exactly what scientists thought too, until they actually looked at what predator milk is made of. And what they found changes everything you think you know about food, fat, and what your body is actually built to handle. Stay with me until the end, because the last part of this video will make you look at your own diet in a way you never have before. This is the real reason you cannot drink predator milk, and the answer is far stranger than you would ever guess. Let us start with something you already know. Milk is not just a drink. Milk is a survival package. Every mammal on Earth produces milk specifically engineered for one thing: getting its young from helpless to alive as fast as possible. That sounds simple, but it means every species produces a completely different formula. A rabbit nurses her babies for only about 3 weeks. So rabbit milk is incredibly rich, dense, packed with fat and protein. A human mother nurses for months or years. So human milk is thinner, lower in fat, higher in sugars, designed for slow, steady growth. A whale nurses her calf in the open ocean, so whale milk is more than 50% fat. It looks like toothpaste. The calf needs to build blubber fast just to survive. Researchers from the Smithsonian Institution have documented this pattern across hundreds of species. The faster the young need to grow, the richer the milk. And here's where it gets interesting. The type of animal also completely changes what the milk contains. Not just the amount of fat, but the kind of fat, the kind of protein, the chemical signature of everything in it. An herbivore like a cow spends its days eating grass, clean, low on the food chain, simple inputs. The milk reflects that. But a predator spends its days eating other animals, and that is where the real problem begins. Here is something your biology teacher probably never told you. Every time one animal eats another, something invisible happens. Toxins concentrate. This is called biomagnification, and it works like this. Imagine a small fish swimming in the ocean. The water around it contains trace amounts of mercury, tiny, almost undetectable. That fish absorbs mercury over its lifetime. Tiny amounts, but they accumulate. Now, a bigger fish eats 100 of those small fish. It absorbs all of that mercury from all 100 fish into its own body. Now a predator eats 100 of those bigger fish. That mercury is now concentrated again, multiplied again. By the time you reach the top of a food chain, a shark, a killer whale, an eagle, a lion, the levels of fat-soluble toxins in their bodies can be millions of times higher than what was originally in the environment. This is not a theory. This is one of the most well-documented phenomena in environmental science. Researchers studying orca whales in the Pacific found that their blubber contained PCB levels more than 1 million times higher than the surrounding seawater. Studies published in environmental science journals throughout the 1990s and 2000s confirmed the same pattern across apex predators on land and sea. And all of those toxins, every single one of them, is stored in fat. Now remember what milk is. Milk is fat. When a predator produces milk for her young, she is drawing from her body's fat reserves. The same fat reserves packed with a lifetime of accumulated toxins. That milk is not just rich in fat. It is rich in concentrated, bioaccumulated chemical payload from everything that predator has ever eaten. You would not just be drinking lion milk. You would be drinking every gazelle the lion ever ate. Every toxin those gazelles carried, every compound that accumulated across multiple levels of the food chain, all delivered to you in one warm glass. But biomagnification is only part of the story. Here is where it gets even stranger. Predator milk is compositionally extreme in ways your digestive system was simply never designed to handle. Let us talk about marine predators first, because they give us the most extreme example. Seal milk is roughly 60% fat. Let that number sit for a second. Cow milk that you buy at the store is about 3 to 4% fat. Seal milk is 60%. Scientists studying harp seals in the North Atlantic found that seal pups can gain 2 kilograms of weight per day on this milk. The milk is so thick that researchers have described it as closer to cream cheese than liquid. Your digestive system is not equipped for that. The human gut evolved processing herbivore milk. Lower fat, different fatty acid profiles, different protein structures. Dumping seal milk into your body would overwhelm your capacity to emulsify and absorb fat. Your pancreatic enzymes would be flooded. Your lymphatic system would struggle to process the lipid load. The result would range from severe gastrointestinal distress, to liver stress, to long-term metabolic damage if consumed regularly. Now bring it back to land predators. Lion milk is about 15% fat. Some studies put tiger milk even higher. Still far above what your body handles comfortably from milk. But here's the part almost no one talks about. It is not just about fat percentage, it is about the type of fat. Herbivore animals like cows and goats produce milk rich in short and medium-chain fatty acids. Your gut absorbs these relatively easily. Predator bodies are built around long-chain fatty acids, the kind found in animal flesh. The kind your body processes more slowly and with more difficulty. Predator milk carries those same fatty acid signatures. Your digestive system runs into problems not just with the volume, but with the structure of what it is being asked to break down. Researchers studying the lipid composition of big cat milk at various zoo facilities in Europe found consistently unusual fatty acid profiles when compared to the herbivore milks humans have been drinking for 10,000 years. So let us add this up. Predator milk contains accumulated toxins from the food chain. Predator milk contains fat levels your gut was not built to handle. Predator milk contains fatty acid structures your enzymes struggle to process efficiently. But there is one more layer, and this one is about evolution, about your body, and about a choice your ancestors made a very long time ago. Humans have been drinking milk from other animals for roughly 10,000 years. That is when the first herding cultures emerged in the Near East and parts of Africa and Europe. And even then, it was not easy. Most adult humans could not drink milk at all. Lactase persistence. The genetic mutation that allows adults to digest lactose, the sugar in milk, is actually a mutation, a genetic adaptation that spread because it gave certain populations a survival advantage. This mutation evolved in response to specific animals. Cows, goats, sheep, camels, herbivores, every single one. Evolution had 10,000 years to adjust your gut to these animals. It had 0 years to adjust your gut to lions, or wolves, or killer whales. There is no population on Earth with an evolutionary history of drinking predator milk. Your gut microbiome, your enzyme production, your immune response to foreign proteins. None of it has ever been calibrated to what a top predator makes for her young. And now think about the protein, casein and whey. The two main proteins in cow milk have been part of the human diet long enough that your immune system has learned to tolerate them. Most of the time, predator milk proteins are completely foreign. Your immune system would likely mount a response to them, not because they are diseased, but because your body has simply never encountered them. The allergy and immune reaction potential would be significant. Some researchers have compared this risk to consuming proteins from exotic marine animals. High novelty, high immune reactivity, unpredictable responses, but here's the part that brings all of this back to you. Right now, today, there is actually a simpler reason humans never drink predator milk, and it has nothing to do with chemistry. It is this: you cannot milk a lion. You cannot walk up to a wolf and attach a pump to it. You cannot approach an apex predator on its terms and survive long enough to collect anything. The animals whose milk humans drink are all animals. Humans could domesticate. Animals that tolerate human presence. Animals that produce large quantities of milk. Animals that do not kill you. Cows, goats, sheep, camels, horses, yaks, every single one. A herbivore. Predators produce relatively small amounts of milk. They nurse intensively for short periods. Their young grow fast and are weaned quickly. A lioness produces just enough milk for her cubs, no excess, no surplus for a curious human standing nearby with a bucket, and not surviving the attempt. The dairy system that humans built, the system that shaped agriculture, that powered civilizations, that changed human height and brain development across thousands of years. It was built entirely on plant-eating animals, because they were the only ones that would let us near them, and because their bodies produced something compatible with ours. Now, zoom out. Think about everything you just learned. The food chain is not just a diagram on a classroom wall. It is a set of rules that governs what your body can and cannot safely take in. Every time you eat at the top of the food chain, every time you consume something that has spent a lifetime accumulating what is around it, you inherit its entire history. The lion carries everything it ever hunted. The seal carries everything it ever swam through. The predator's milk carries all of it, concentrated, delivered in the richest possible form, and your body, built for 10,000 years of grass-eating animals, would meet all of that with confusion, with struggle, with quiet chemical damage you might never trace back to the source. Here is what this actually tells you. You are not just a body that eats. You are a body that is shaped by what it eats. Every choice of food is a negotiation with a billion years of evolution. Your gut bacteria, your enzymes, your immune system, your lipid metabolism, all of it was tuned, over thousands of generations, to a very specific slice of the food web. Step outside that slice, and your body does not fail dramatically. It just quietly struggles. And most of us never notice, because we never step that far outside it. The next time you drink a glass of milk, any milk, understand what it took for that to be possible. An animal that ate grass, a body that let you approach, and 10,000 years of your ancestors making the same quiet choice. You are not just drinking milk. You are drinking the entire history of your relationship with the living world, and the lion was never part of that deal.